What's happening, people? Happy Monday, everyone. Hello, world. Good morning, Europe, and welcome everyone to our live stream. We are proud to announce our new daily broadcast streamed live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch TV, proudly sponsored by ForexCNMarkets.com. Join us every day on your favorite media channel, learn how investments work, win a prize every day, and find out what most Forex brokers don't want you to know. You can find all the links in the description down below. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, and support us in delivering more great content. We start the week with 3 daily broadcasts, guys, as you see on the screen. And next week, we are launching a mega competition where each and every one of you gets the chance to win mega prizes every day. I'm Andrew TheChartWhisperer. Welcome to the European markets opening, everyone. How you guys doing? Let me know how the sound is. Let me know how the image is. We've been away for a couple of weeks, guys. We just moved to a new location, a new studio. We're very excited to start this lovely broadcast, daily broadcasts, which are meant to help you understand how financial markets really work and hopefully do better with your trading. Let's have a look at the charts and see what are the hottest topics today, guys. Let's switch to the charts and see what is going on. Right, there we go. We see that global coronavirus cases rose by more than 400,000 for the first time late on Friday, a record one-day increase, as much as Europe enacts to impose new restrictions to curb the outbreak. Also boosting sentiment was Friday's news from drug maker Pfizer that it could have a COVID vaccine ready in the United States by the end of the year. Right, let's see what happened in the Eurozone, guys. We see the ECB President Christine Lagarde seemed very, very determined yesterday at the press conference on stimulus measures and financial aid for the EU countries, and said that her aim is to be able to distribute the funds at the beginning of 2021. One of the main concerns was that a multi-year grant and loan scheme called Next Generation EU that might be raising the risk that cash would not be reaching the hardest hit nations on time. However, though, Christine Lagarde was definitely determined to support this project, and she wants to make sure that the funds do get to the Europe's hardest hit nations by beginning of 2021. Right, let's move on to Europe and see what's happening with the European currencies. We see the sterling was slightly higher, though it was still near 2 weeks lows after UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson told businesses to get ready for a no-deal Brexit in case negotiations with the European Union fail to produce a free trade agreement. Now, citing economists at ANZ, they said that the EU-UK trade talks are flirting with collapse. But let's see what's going to happen. Talks resume in London later on today, but without the willingness to shift their views, there is little the negotiations can achieve. Overall, European stock markets are seen opening higher today by economists, helped by hope of COVID-19 vaccine this year and renewed talk of a fresh US stimulus package. Moving on, let's see what happened overnight, guys. We see the Asian markets advancing towards a recent 2.5-year peak today, powered by hopes of a US fiscal package and expectations of a COVID vaccine by the end of this year. Just as I said a minute ago, China's gross domestic product grew 4.9% in July-September from a year earlier, slower than the median forecast of 5.2% predicted by analysts. Right, this week, many events in the economic calendar. We have a very, very hot week, guys. I'll show you the economic calendar in a minute. But all eyes will be on the crude oil inventories announced on Wednesday. But by far, the center of the stage is taken by the final presidential debate between US President Donald Trump and his rival Joe Biden on Thursday, guys. Thursday is a super Thursday with the volatility, especially on the US dollar index and the US stocks expected to go through the roof. Let's move on to the charts, guys, and see how the markets open today. Once again, very big welcome, everyone, to our first broadcast, and a very big welcome to the European trading session. Now, let's move on to the charts and see what happens with the major assets. Obviously, we're going to go for crude oil first, which is currently trading at 41.22. We see a growth of 0.1%. Okay, for the month and 0.24% for the day. Right, the charts are very, very slow today, guys. Give me just a second and I'll try and fix the problem. We're definitely going to get the information that we need. I'm just going to switch the website for just a second. Bear with me for a second, guys. We're going back to the charts in just a second. We see a lot of volume at the Europe opening today, and probably that's why the charts on investing.com are moving a bit slower than usually, but no problem. We have many charts to choose from, and we're definitely going to see what are the major assets doing today. Right, okay, guys, we are looking at the charts on TradeView. Yeah, TradingView. We start with gold, guys, which is currently trading at 1908. A slight drop. Let me change the time frame to a 4-hour chart and have a generic view of gold. We see gold recovering. Not a lot of volume on the markets today. Not a lot of buying power from what I see here. Okay, we see gold currently trading at 1908, apparently pushing higher. Okay, towards the resistance level at 1912.66. Okay, it all has to do with the US dollar, guys. As you know by now, the US dollar and gold tend to move in opposite directions. So during the European trading session, if we're going to have a bit of selling power on the US dollar, then gold price is expected to go a bit higher. But again, it all has to do with the pressure that we're going to see on the US dollar and on the US dollar index. Talking about the US dollar index, guys, there we go. US dollar index is currently trading at 93.68. Looking at it on a 4-hour chart, we can see a negative opening on the dollar index. Apparently, it's looking to push lower. We don't know yet if it's just a pullback. Okay, and then it will continue the uptrend. Okay, there you go. This could be considered an uptrend, guys, if you draw your trend channel properly. Yeah, all eyes are on the correction. Okay, that is supposed to happen after such a big drop. Okay, now all eyes on the US dollar index today, guys. Let's see if it's going to keep on pushing downwards, breaking this support level. Yeah, and heading lower, which will very likely push gold prices higher. Right, let's move on. Let's have a look at your favorite, guys. Let's look at Bitcoin, which is currently trading at 11,466. It's trading slightly higher than it traded on Friday. Yeah, we can see the Friday closing is around 11,427, somewhere there. Okay, nothing really big happened over the weekend. We see Bitcoin kind of ranging, apparently not being able to create higher highs. Yeah, this is the higher high, and this is the higher high I was telling you about. So what do we know? When is an uptrend considered an uptrend? Whenever a higher high is being created. Yeah, you need at least 2 higher highs and 2 higher lows to see that as an uptrend. Now, the good news on Bitcoin is that if it decides to settle higher than this point, yeah, which is the support level, let me make the lines a bit thicker so you can have a clear view. Okay, then it might push higher. Yeah, it might push higher towards the 11,731, or why not the 12,000 mark. But as we know, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are completely decentralized, guys, and you are the ones that give the direction of the market. It's investor sentiment that weighs heavily on the markets. Now, let's move on. Let's move on to the next one on the chart. Let's have a look at the euro, guys, since we are a few minutes into the European opening. Okay, and I'm going to decrease the time frame from a 4-hour chart to a 1-hour chart. So, beginner traders, this means every green or red candlestick you see on the charts represents 1 hour. Yeah, if you're using the charts on a 1 hour time frame. Yeah, so we're looking back in time for about a week, if not a bit longer. But what do we care about as traders, especially on a Monday morning, if you think about it? We need to allow the markets to settle. We need to allow the markets to breathe a bit. Okay, therefore, we're going to allow them a higher time frame, yeah, at least for a couple of hours to see where the markets are heading to. Okay. Now, again, as I mentioned, we have a lot of events in the economic calendar. We're going to move to the economic calendar in just a minute, once we finish with the market overview for today, and see what events could affect the assets today. So we're looking at the euro. As I said, we care about the movement that's going to happen in the next couple of hours at least. Yeah, it's a good idea to allow the markets a bit of time to settle. Overall, we see a positive opening on the euro, still a bit shy this morning. Currently trading at 117.11 versus the US dollar. It is currently trading at its lows. Yeah, we can see it here. If you look towards the left-hand side, guys, yeah, you can see the average lows. These are the average lows. Yeah, so we can see the euro trading at its lows after a sharp drop that lasted for about a week. Yeah, for about a week, if not a bit longer. Let's see where the markets are heading to today. We're going to have a look at some trading signals from investing.com. Okay, in a few minutes, and see what the economists predict. But short-term trading, yeah, I'm sure experienced traders will eye for this level, yeah, for the 117.23 level, if they decide to go for a buy position. Okay, as the first take profit target, and then as the second take profit target, you always look left, guys, and you aim for the previous high. Yeah, so if you want to trade, let's say intraday, yeah, or if you want short-term trading, in case you decide to go for a buy position, yeah, these are the two potential take profit targets. If you decide to go for a sell position, then again, you're looking lower. Yeah, you're looking at the previous lows from left to right, and that's where the market is likely to go. Yeah, if your prediction is correct. So trading it, for example, on a 1 hour chart, okay, you need to allow at least 2-3 hours for the markets to react. Therefore, your take profit level, yeah, target 1 and target 2, will be very close to the current market price. Okay, so this is how it usually works. Now, again, the markets are very unpredictable, guys. Anything can happen, and we need to give them the time they need to breathe, and also keep an eye on the economic calendar for what might destabilize the price today, or what might give the price a direction. All right, this is on the euro front. Let's move on to the pound. Okay, again, we see a positive opening for the pound today, apparently pushing higher. Probably, if it decides to push higher, we're going to be looking at the 129.56 level, or somewhere in that region. Okay, as now a lot of traders, I'm sure they aim for a correction. Yeah, and they're going to get the Fibonacci tool out probably and measure the correction. Okay, as things stand right now, we see a correction at 0.38%. Okay, probably heading towards the 0.5%, here were the 50% retracement. But again, we need the markets to settle a bit higher, yet to settle above the 129.56 level to give us a hint that they want to push higher towards the 0.5, here were the 50% retracement. Alternatively, we might see the pound, depending on how negotiations will go today, we might see the pound retesting the 129.30 level. Okay, and possibly entering the red zone again. Yeah, which means it will accelerate the downtrend. Yeah, it will resume the downtrend. But again, we have easily 7 hours to go. Yeah, 7 trading hours where you guys can get the feel of the market. Let's move on to USD JPY, guys, which is currently trading at 105.44. Again, we see a very shy but positive opening on the US dollar today. Apparently, it's very close to its resistance level. to its highs. And if it decides to push higher today, then I'm sure most traders will aim for the 105.58 level as the first take profit level. Okay, alternatively, if the markets decide to turn around, and if we're going to see a weaker dollar today, then your first take profit level could be the 105.29 mark. Okay, so the action is happening there in that region, around the 105.44. So on the short side, we might be looking at 105.29 today, which is not a lot, about 14 pips. And for the upside, we might be looking at 105.58, which again is about 14 pips above the current market price. Right, let's have a look at gold, guys, and see how gold is doing. Again, 19094 gold. Again, not a lot of activity. Not a lot of activity happening. But again, you know by now, the markets need about half an hour to settle, especially on a Monday morning when all the orders that are standing from Friday are executed shortly after the market opening, and also the new traders, the intraday traders or the day traders are opening live positions as well. Therefore, you're gonna have you might have a bit of destabilization of the market, but they settle within 45 minutes to 1 hour usually. Now, as I promised you guys, let's have a look at the economic calendar and see what is happening today. We can see the GDP, the gross domestic product, that came out from China at 4.9% and 2.7% quarterly. For the third quarter, we see an industrial production year by year in September at 6.9%, which was higher than what economists have predicted. Now, today, as we speak, 3 minutes ago, we have a press conference from the ECB, the European Central Bank. Okay, we're gonna have a few people speaking at 3 o'clock, guys, in the afternoon. We're gonna have Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell holding a press conference. Again, a bit of volatility is expected once the U.S. markets open. Okay, based on his comments, I'm sure he will talk about the stimulus measures, as that's the most important thing for US right now. Obviously, after the elections, but I'd say it's the second most important thing. After the election, the stimulus that the US will give US businesses, US companies, in order for them to recover from the massive losses that everyone suffered with this COVID-19 pandemic. Right, as we head towards the US opening at 4 o'clock GMT plus 3 today, we have the FOMC member Williams again speaking. Again, more and more volatility today, followed by FOMC member Clarida again speaking at 6:45 p.m. GMT plus 3. Later on today, we have the federal budget balance, and again, 2 other FOMC members speaking today. So a lot of movement, a lot of activity is expected on the US dollar after the US opening. Right, okay, tomorrow, guys, very important announcements in the afternoon, pre-US market opening. We have the building permits and housing starts, and again, more declarations coming from FOMC members. Okay, we can see FOMC member Williams holding a press conference, and then FOMC member Quarles having a press conference tomorrow, pre and after US opening. We have the API weekly crude oil stock, guys, which we should know by now gives us a very good indication on the stockpiles, on the crude oil inventories that will be announced the following day on Wednesday. All right, and we should be able to get some intel, some information on or some hints on where the stockpiles are at right now. Then on Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock, we have the consumer price index and the producer price index on the pound, followed by Christine Lagarde, the ECB president, press conference, and other ECB members. A bit of action expected from Canada on Wednesday, pre-US market opening, with the core consumer price index being announced, as well as core retail sales and new housing price index. Okay, quite a few announcements. And then obviously the long expected crude oil inventories and Cushing crude oil inventories that will show us exactly how much oil America has in storage. Okay, Thursday, guys. Few announcements on the pound and on the US dollar, but by far the most expected event on Thursday will be the final presidential debate between Donald Trump and his rival Joe Biden. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's see who's going to win, and most importantly, let's see how that will affect the market. Moving on to Friday, we start Friday after midnight with trade balance on the Kiwi dollar and consumer price index, followed by retail sales and core retail sales on the pound, French manufacturing PMI and French services PMI. A few announcements, quite a few announcements in the Eurozone. Up until 11:30, just before lunchtime, we're going to have a lot of announcements on the euro and on the pound. And then as every other Friday, we're going to have the federal budget balance and some speculative net positions, crude oil speculative net positions, gold speculative net positions to be announced on the US dollar for closing of the week. Now, as I promised, guys, we're going to have a look at some trading signals. Let's see what investing.com thinks about trading signals. Just a heads up, guys, I'm going to have a lot of technical analysts and people with a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience starting tomorrow or starting Wednesday, I think. And they will help us every day with trading signals with an accuracy of up to 75%. We're going to have some live broadcasts with our colleagues from London. From markets.com, we're going to have some broadcasts with our friends from Forexc, with João Monteiro, founder and CEO at Forexc. And they're going to give us more insights of the markets. But until then, let's see what investing.com thinks about the markets today. Shortly after the market opening, we see the euro on a strong buy on a short time frame, on a 5-minute and a 15-minute chart. Good opening on the euro today, as well as the pound. Again, the pound is stuck in a strong buy on 3 time frames, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, and hourly. The daily signal on the pound is just a buy position, but let's see if that's going to become a strong buy later on today. Again, the US dollar, the USD JPY, the USD CHF shows a strong buy on 3 time frames, but a strong sell on a daily chart. Which might be a bit confusing because now we're looking at the European markets opening. So if the European currencies are strengthening a bit versus the US dollar, then the US dollar strengthening again versus another European currency can be a bit confusing. There you go, guys. The euro just turned into a strong sell on all time frames. So apparently the markets are trying to settle, are starting to settle after the opening. Right, moving on. We look at the Kiwi dollar, guys, which is set on a strong buy position on 3 time frames. 5-minute charts, 15-minute charts, and 1-hour charts. But again, a strong sell overall on a daily chart. Let's try and look for some clear indications, some clearer signals, because now again it's a bit confusing with the European currencies strengthening versus the US dollar, and also the US dollar strengthening. So clear indication, we're looking at USD Canadian, which is stuck on a strong sell on all 4 time frames. Usually when things like this happen, assets tend to go according to the signal for a period of time. But let's not forget, any announcement that comes from across the pond in our case could completely shift the direction of the markets as they come out. Now, looking at the Kiwi dollar versus the US dollar, we can see it in a strong buy position on all time frames. So maybe you want to have a look at that, guys. But remember, The trading signals are just an indication of what technical indicators and what some analysts think about the assets. Do your own analysis. Have a look at the charts. Check your support resistance levels, guys. If possible, get another trading signal from another source. You have plenty of free trading signals out there and compare them. Yeah, do your own analysis. Don't follow a trading signal blindly. Then if things make sense, if what you see on the charts and what the trading signals tell you are about the same and make sense, then you know what you have to do. But most importantly, remember to trade responsibly, guys. That's very, very important. It's not all about today. It's not all about tomorrow. It's about the long run. Right, okay. Right, looking at the pound here, we can see the pound in a strong buy position versus the JPY. And again, the GBP CHF seems to be in a strong buy position, at least on 3 time frames. So have a look at the charts, guys. If you're not sure what you want to trade today, have a look at the charts, check these trading signals, and who knows, maybe they make sense. Maybe they're going to help you a bit. Right, now let's have a look at commodities, guys, and see what investing.com thinks about commodities today. We're going to have a quick look at indices shortly after, and then this is it for today. We're going to come back at after 4 o'clock to get ready for the US opening. Right, we see gold and silver in strong buy positions on all 4 time frames. We know by now gold and silver tend to move together, not the same amount of points, but they tend to move together most of the times. Copper is a bit undecided. Buy position on a 5-minute, strong buy on a 15 minutes. The hourly is neutral. So again, not a very clear indication. The good news is that most of it is green. Yeah, so we see a lot of green on the charts today. It might be a really, really happy Monday. If that's the case, we see crude oil, WTI, and Brent oil in a strong buy position on all 4 time frames. Again, what's worth noting, guys, is that Brent oil and crude oil tend to move together. Yeah, the charts are almost identical. There's only a difference in price, but when they drop, they tend to drop together. When they go up, they tend to go up together. Again, I'm going to mention this, not the same amount of points, and the price is different. Yeah, but if you're trading crude oil, guys, have a look at Brent oil as well. Yeah, they tend to move together. Instead of opening 2 positions, for example, on crude oil or on Brent oil, you could diversify a bit. Yeah, who knows? Maybe you can catch more pips out of Brent oil or crude oil as they don't move the same. Natural gas, again, very undecided. We see strong buy short term. We see strong sell on an hourly chart. So it's very, very confusing as things stand right now. Do your own chart analysis, yeah, and see what's going to happen. US wheat, buy on a 5-minute time frame and then strong buy on the other time frames. If you like to trade commodities, guys, okay, have a look at these trading signals. Sometimes they tend to work really, really well. Other times, not so much. But again, that has to do with the markets. Yeah, it has to do with what you guys are doing on the other side of the fence, how many buy and sell positions you're opening. Quick look at the European indices. We see the FTSE 100, guys, on a strong buy on short time frames. 5-minute, 15 minutes, and hourly. We see the CAC 40 strong buy positions on all 4 time frames. Apparently, the markets did open higher today. Yeah, we see the DAX, guys, the DAX 30 again in a strong buy on all 4 time frames. Don't get carried away. It might shift direction within an hour or 2 or 3 hours. Yeah, so if you decide to follow these signals and go with buy positions, trade carefully, guys. Yeah, trade carefully. You can set a stop loss. You can set a take profit. Okay, you don't have to be really, really greedy and go for the maximum amount of points. Okay, if your trade goes in a bit of profit today, if you manage to make a bit of profit today, it's okay if you close the trades and walk away. Yeah, remember, it's Monday, guys. The week has just started. We don't know what America has to say at the opening today. We don't know what's going to happen later on during the week. So, especially today, guys, trade carefully. Yeah, don't be desperate to make thousands and thousands today. If you do that, so be it. But give the markets a bit of time to breathe and trade with caution. All right, moving on. We see the Euro Stocks 50 again on a strong buy. A lot of green, guys. A lot of green on the charts today. A lot of green after the European opening. Okay, which could mean a very, very happy Monday, yeah, for most of the traders. Right. One more thing, guys. Remember to type your questions if you have any questions. Interact with me. Interact with my guests when I'm going to have them in the studio. This is the whole point of having these broadcasts. Okay. We see a few viewers. Thank you so much for being with us today at the first official market opening, the first official broadcast after the 2 weeks holiday, let's say, that we took. If you like what you see, guys, remember to like, share, and subscribe anywhere you come across these lovely broadcasts. Remember, we're broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch TV. Follow us live, like, share, and subscribe, and support us in delivering more great content. Right, once again, thank you so much for being with us today, guys. Join me shortly after 4 o'clock for the US opening and then for the first edition of the new talk show, Dumb Money, which will start 10 minutes before 5 o'clock GMT +3. Until then, remember to trade responsibly and may all your trades be in the money.